Hey everyone, it's Obscurus Lupa Presents. We're going to be talking about teen sorcery today, but I think there's some background that we need covered first. This movie was distributed by a company from the 90s called Pulse Pounders, self-described as sci-fi family entertainment with an edge. Although, to be honest, I'm not sure who these movies are really aimed at. It's too stupid for kids, and it sure as hell isn't made for adults. I'd only watched one Pulse Pounders movie before this one, and it was called Teenage Space Vampires. I thought it'd be worth a laugh. It wasn't. Let's be clear here. I only watched this movie for one reason, and that's because M.A. Castle is in it. M.A. Castle starred in my favorite show as a kid, Big Wolf on Campus. Two other actresses worth noting in this one are Lexa Doig, best known for her roles in Andromeda and Jason X, and AJ Cook, who's probably best known for Virgin Suicides or Final Destination 2. Yep, they're in it. They're not very good, but they're in it. You're not going to recognize anyone else from this, mostly because it's a direct-to-video joint project between Canada and Romania. The plot is kind of like The Craft if it were 10 times dumber and badly dubbed for half of it. But hey, at least the people of IMDb recognized it as the greatest movie ever! Let's talk movie covers again. This is another misleading one, but instead of most covers that try to make you think it's a better movie, this one misleads you into thinking it's shitty in a different way. Who the hell are these people? I don't remember them being in the movie. Are they supposed to represent the main characters? What, you don't remember Lexa Doig being white? Oh, and also AJ Cook's character isn't a cheerleader, and the lead guy isn't a football player. And I, for one, don't remember a pizza-sized coin in the movie. And you have to love the thought-out one-word tagline for this one. Spellbound. I'm not sure which movie they're talking about. The only place I'm bound for after this one is the toilet. I'd also love to know how titling this one went. Hey, we need a script for a movie, but all we know is that we want to write on the coattails of a movie that was popular 3 years ago. How about The Craft? Why not? But instead of tackling issues like abusing power and corruption, we'll make it kid-friendly. Brilliant, we'll slap something together in about half an hour. All we need is for it to involve teenagers doing some sort of sorcery. But what do we call it? Teen sorcery? Now, I know we shouldn't have any pointless padding scenes before 5 o'clock, but teen sorcery just decided to jump right in. It's pointless padding scene time. Bing! You're really gonna open with this shot? With the worst possible filter you could find? Also, don't blink or the title will pass you by. Yeah, that's putting in the effort by making it the same size, font, and color as the credits. Okay, movie, I'll bite. What's in the bag? Oh yeah, that's subtle.
Help! Somebody help!
Aw man, that's the worst haunted house she's ever been to. I guess any sort of mystery as to what she's up against is out the window. I can list many reasons as to why the scene wasn't needed, but if you just take a look at this lady, then you're bound to know all of them. Okay, I guess this awkward silence was worth dwelling on. AJ Cook plays Dawn, who just moved into Pilgrim Town with her family. A new girl in town with no friends? Who may or may not befriend a group of young women who may or may not have witch powers? I've never seen that before! I jest, of course. This movie can only be called a rip-off until about the halfway point when it decides to venture into what just happened land. Bella Swan knew her first day of school would be hard. It's not easy being pretty and liked by everyone. Except those ugly people, who would later duct tape her to the flagpole. Maybe now we can get to the story before... Oh, okay, I guess we're doing more character introductions. You can tell he's the sensitive friend because he's got his sweater wrapped around his shoulders. He's the only guy in the film. Can you tell he's the love interest? Here we're introduced to Mercedes and her gang of albinos. You can tell they were really trying hard with the comedy angle here, what with the wacky music they shoved down our throats in every scene.
Watch yourself, new girl.
Yes, because the only motivation your antagonist needs to be a bitch is that she doesn't like new girls. I can tell these are going to be well-written characters. And no, they don't give us any other reason as to why she hates Dawn. While the movie continues with cliché after cliché, we get the obligatory shun new girl in the lunchroom. Yeah, what a social leper. She's friendly, outgoing, and relatively attractive? What a freak! But Dawn finds friendship in unlikely places, and a strong bond is formed. Ah! This is awkward! Franny, Flo, Mary. There, I made it easy for you. Together, they have roughly the personality of an intelligent anteater. Oh, except that the Romanian actress with the horribly dubbed-over lines is a shy one, because they wanted to save her the stress of having to memorize dialogue.
You're new here, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally sucks.
Why is all of the dialogue so awkward? Why are they afraid of human contact? They only have one mutant in the group, they might as well just slide over to the next table.
So, where are you from?
Different parts of California, mostly. LA for the last 2 years.
All the charm of a rabid hyena.
Well done, I'm Mercedes.
Enjoy your lunch.
They don't even try to get up to follow her.
Cockroaches again.
Nobody has any questions? That's completely normal then? Alright.
This bug is only found in certain parts of Eastern Europe. It can't survive in our climate.
Sometimes I wish you weren't such a damn brainiac, Mary.
Wait a second, so Mary's supposed to be the brainiac of the group? So what does that leave you with? The sloth of the group?
I'm gonna throw it to you, okay?
As far as witches go, Mercedes is pretty lame. You've got magic powers and use them to make a fat joke? Do you really need powers for that?
Hey, Michael Charming.
Subtle movie. Subtle.
Who are you taking to the school dance? One of your little specimen friends?
Wow, this movie has all the wit and charm of something without wit and charm. Say guys, you know what you need? Some poor CGI. And if you enjoyed that, you'll love the end of the film.
It looked kinda cool.
Yeah, don't patronize him. And it wouldn't be a movie about girlfriends without a slumber party!
I know she had something to do with Michael getting all freaked out today.
The girls catch wise to the fact that maybe cockroaches appearing out of nowhere or exploding frogs aren't normal and decide to investigate.
I say we start watching Mercedes closely. I mean her every move.
You know, stalking.
Hey, you guys, we gotta check out Mercedes. She's doing her nails.
Done. Dawn discovers that Mercedes' powers come from an amulet that she's been tugging at very unsubtly every time she does a spell. Maybe she should have left the flash off. Just a tip for next time. Ready for a wacky chase scene? Uh-oh, the ground is lava. The girls develop the picture Dawn took because they think it'll prove that Mercedes is a witch. No.
Jeez, Michael, you scared us to death.
Sorry.
I'm definitely not Canadian.
Good one, Michael.
Ew, isn't there some sort of law against putting you in red lighting?
You know the dance is this Saturday, and I was thinking about maybe checking it out. Anyways, I really didn't want to go alone this time, so maybe I wasn't sure if you had plans to go or not. Because, I mean, if you're gonna be there.
After developing the picture, the girls go to the library to look up information on the amulet. Because of course a public library would have that kind of information. This movie is full of scary people! And thus the Black Plague came back into existence. Why does the basement of the library look like a medieval dungeon?
They were really into the Eyes of Newt back then.
I know witches are fictional and all, but I'm kind of offended by this. They decide to ask the librarian for help. So, not only is this character set up as poor comic relief within a movie that's painfully unfunny already, but we also have to pay attention to her for the plot.
Yes, precious.
Oh, that explains it.
Must have the precious.
Oh, I was wondering if you knew where...
Speak up, precious.
Do you?
Ha 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 ha.
We're trying to find more information on this amulet.
Oh, she's miming walking down the stairs. I guess that's kind of funny. Does she really have to do that? Is that really the one joke they had to work with?
The Devil's Stone was said to have been born from the fires of earth by Satan himself.
Well, that's clever. Why did Satan make a magical amulet? Who knows?
The Devil's Stone was under the control of Obrina, a vicious and cruel witch.
She'll be overacting for you this evening.
She tried to turn the innocent village children into an army of slaves. One day, the townspeople rose up against her and hunted her down.
That guy was just pretending to run.
All of her powers. People were strong and determined. When she had no escape, she vanished into thin air.
I guess she didn't think to use her all-powerful amulet made by Satan to, I don't know, get rid of the mob. They come to the conclusion that Mercedes has half of the amulet and that the librarian is conveniently the keeper of the other half. She gives the amulet to Dawn because, being very elderly, she could keel over any minute.
Take this and go.
Don't we need to check this out?
Oh, because that makes sense. Hey, wait a second, they're just walking away now. So the girls have the power to use the other half of the amulet. What do they use their immeasurable power for?
This Saturday.
Could be a little shorter.
Make it big, big, big. Make him the way he was before that. No, before that.
Lame. They also discover that the amulet's powers depend on the heart of the person wearing it, and that good people can't use it for harm. You do remember that this amulet was made by Satan, right? So they decide to use their powers to undo everything that Mercedes does. If you guess that this leads to an unfunny montage where Mercedes gets the old pie in the face, you'd be right. Skipping forward several painful minutes, we find the group with their newly found friends at Dawn's birthday party. Mercedes decides to be a bitch and cast a spell on her, you know the drill. So of course her genius friends try to wake her out of a mystical coma by just being loud and throwing water on her. This is where the movie sort of goes to a weird storytelling place. We've basically lost our main character until the end of the film, and the only people we're left with are these four schmucks. You don't do that! You don't throw out your main character halfway through the film. That'd be like if, in the middle of The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy just decides to wander off somewhere else, and then we follow the Scarecrow for the rest of the film. So I guess we can forget about the whole Dawn is the Keymaster part of the story for now. So the movie is now veered in a completely different direction, and they have to find a prince to kiss Dawn before 24 hours is up. I'm sorry, wasn't this movie about witches or something? And then we have this pointless dream sequence. Thanks for that, movie. One guess as to who the prince is. I'll give you a hint. It's the only male character in the film. But they discover that Dawn has gone missing! Did she just look for her inside the rollerblade?
One went up.
Anyway, Mercedes shows up to move the plot along.
Don't worry. I made sure she's someplace that you'll never find her. In fact, it's a lot like Pilgrim Town, only a little bit more rustic.
Show off.
If she is showing off, it sure as hell isn't with that effect.
Now, will somebody please tell me what's going on here?
Wait, he's just asking that now? I thought with the... They magically put you in a costume. You didn't think that was strange.
Mercedes said she hid Dawn in another world, right? One that was a lot like ours, but a little bit more rustic, older. She must have created a portal to a parallel universe and hidden Dawn there.
That's jumping to conclusions. Well, clearly she created a portal to another world. Or as Michael calls it, a porthole.
Porthole!
Okay, so let's just throw in other dimensions now, why not? It's not like we need a cohesive plot or anything. They find the portal like a scene later. I guess it wasn't that hard to find. What follows is simply hilarious. All those wacky kids, they can't get anything right. What, did we suddenly go into an acid trip? Then we take another detour from the plot and backwards land. Funny. They finally end up in Dawn's dimension, set in old-timey times, where nights just ride by at random.
I'm tired. I don't see why we just can't rest a bit.
Who let you back in the group? Dawn is being kept in a castle that I guess no one lives in.
Not so fast, girls. Now the devil's stolen, and all its powers are mine!
Are you guys ready for this? You might want to brace yourselves. What a piece of shit. After running away, they prepare to fight the dragon, who I guess is just sitting around in there and waiting for them this whole time. They decide to make a magical sleeping pill to feed her so they can get to Dawn. And of course they make wooden shields to protect themselves. I don't know what's more insulting, the fact that they thought wooden shields would protect them from fire, or that the shields really weren't on fire. They feed Mercedes the sleeping pill, take the amulet back, and tie her up. Now I know a main character is in this castle somewhere. Oh, I had this horrible nightmare that I was in a Pulse Pounders movie. Oh crap, it's you guys. Okay, so we've had the romantic kiss, taken care of the antagonist, and rescued the main character. The movie's over now, right? Of course not.
Oh!
Wait, why is she there? Is it the same librarian from their universe? Why don't they notice that it's the same person? Wait a minute, I have so many questions! Oh, come on, really? I guess they decided to tack on some stupid finale with the witch who owned the amulet in the first place. Gratuitous overacting ensues. Is that the same lady that played the librarian? Why? I don't understand. Is she your ancestor? But we saw that other old-timey librarian lady, and why did the witch appear in this dimension? Is she another witch, or is she the one from the flashback? I don't understand you, teen sorcery. Why don't you make sense? I guess that scene accomplished nothing. The group goes back to their own dimension and Dawn destroys the amulet. And just in time for the dance! Oh, and Mercedes ends up trapped in a nerd dimension. I guess it wasn't one of those dimensions that came with a convenient costume. And since the movie decided to just meander around for a little bit more, all of the girls get some random guy we haven't seen until now, and then they dance the night away. This movie blows chunks. Everything is a stereotype. No, not even that. Everything is a stereotype of a stereotype. The plot goes to random places, and then everything just peters off at the end. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. But not even the good kind of guilty pleasure. It's the kind of guilty pleasure that only I can enjoy and I can't tell people about. I'll admit it, if Emma Castle wasn't in it, then I probably wouldn't give a crap. But every once in a while I like to break this one out if I'm in the mood for some 90s schlock. Now, I think there's only one way to end this review.
Baby!